This is going to be a great one, folks. SOULWInd versus Ban Manaphy. These two have played before in Kalos Invitational 7, and I would urge you to check that set out because it was excellent. I'll link it in the description. Ban Manaphy got a bit of an upset there. SOULWInd is perhaps the GOAT of competitive singles, with more tournament wins than anybody in history. Ban Manaphy's no slouch, of course, but it was an unexpected victory in many people's eyes, with Ban Manaphy proving to be a powerful and formidable opponent. And here they are. SOULWInd wants revenge. Will it happen? Will we see the revenge? A Snorlax lead from Ban Manaphy. That's usually an aggro thing. Could be counter to hit the Metagross leads. Went for an Earthquake. And I would not be surprised to see a... Oh my gosh. I'm surprised to see that though. Belly Drum. I was going to say not surprised to see a Mag, but... What the heck is... Hyper Beam? This is what I'm talking about. Man, Manaphy is just a nutcase. What is this? Going for Earthquake on what was expected to be a tar entry point. SOULWInd is kind of on top of it right now. SOULWInd is... Okay. Well, that'll be a KO. Okay, Snorlax has gotten a KO. This could have gone much worse for SOULWInd, for sure. Ban Manaphy starting this off with more than a bang. With a beam. Unbelievable. Okay, what else is in store for us? We've got the Metagross coming in. It's got lefties on. It's not going to explode with Choice Band or anything like that. Astami can rapid spin these spikes away. Is SOULWInd running Gengar? SOULWInd is more of a defensively leaning player, meaning perhaps no Gengar. I mean, not something you rule out, of course, but based on SOULWInd's tendencies, tends to prefer like the Claydol builds, cut Gengar for more defensively solid Pokemon, and that's a lucky Toxic dodge there, because Skarm can kind of 1v1 Starmie a little bit with Toxic. And it looks to be a defensively oriented Starmie, not doing much with Surf. SOULWInd re-establishing Toxic, so gonna get another layer in, and that one layer will go a long way. That's 12.5 damage on every switch in, of course. SOULWInd weathering the storm quite a bit here. It's Wish Jolteon. That's a pretty uncommon option, but definitely seen sometimes, and it's going to give a free entry for this Starmie, which is nice with the heal in the back to bring it back to full health. And Starmie obviously wants to spin. Will we see like... Oh, light screen actually. I was going to say, will we see Thunderbolt? Ban Manaphy actually light screening to prevent the Thunderbolt damage. Are we setting up for another sort of boost sweeper here? This can make sense alongside the Snorlax, I would say, because... Or is it maybe at the moment light screen is basically serving to just nerf Thunderbolt damage? Gotta say, pretty good light screen click, just covering Thunderbolt. Nice awareness there. But SOULWInd happy to just keep Thunderbolting because light screen's going to run out in just a moment. Clicking Calm Mind. So Calm Mind, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Softboiled, Blissey. No status moves, that's good to know. So no Thunder Wave to worry about, no Toxic to worry about, meaning Metagross is a fantastic switch in to that Blissey. But Skarmory is a fantastic switch into the Metagross. Rock Slide going for the Skarm beatdown, maybe get a few flinches in the mix on occasion. Skarmory is the biggest enemy for Ban Manaphy's team. You would really expect a Magneton in this kind of thing, but Ban Manaphy just wants to get rid of Skarm the old-fashioned way with little damage. Really all hinges on what is in the back for Ban Manaphy. 2 Pokeballs unrevealed so far. It could be anything. SOULWInd playing very solidly and safely so far, managing all this stuff, and it's just a Salamence. What does the Salamence have, though? I would imagine Dragon Dance, just based on the vibes so far. Like light screen support for Dragon Dance makes some sense. Gets an Earthquake in. That's great chip on that Starmie. So SOULWInd with a very balancy team. I'm sure this Starmie has like recover and spin and everything. Indeed, it has recover. As does Mana's Starmie, though. Click Surf on the Tar coming in. I wonder if it's Pursuit Tar. Yeah. Beautiful move because SOULWIND was trying to come in on the spin and threaten Crunch or Pursuit. Bit of awareness from Mana there. Because Surf now 2 hits, that Tyranitar is no longer going to be able to spin, like effectively spin block by threatening Crunch. And with Light Screen, it can kind of 1v1 this Blissey. There's always, you know, crit and para chance though, so it's not fantastic for Starmie. We'll have to see how this shakes out. This is so crazy. Starmie at about 60%. Will you just click spin and at some point here, just click spin there. Gonna be at 30. No paralysis or crit. I mean, it'll eventually happen if you keep looping this. You're inviting the secondary effects to happen one day. And that's not going to be a fun time. But at the moment, you're not in a bad spot. You spin away the spikes, you're healthy on Starmie. You can surf this Skarmory. It's doing like 30-ish. Skarm can squeeze in some leftovers healing. And doesn't choose to take the surf. SOULWIND knows that keeping Skarm healthy is a huge priority here. A massive priority. Even though this is an aggressive team from Mana, it is kind of a... representing a defensive threat as well, with the Starmie alone, with Light Screen, Recover, Spin. Being able to kind of stop SOULWIND's progress, because SOULWIND is too passive. Here, with Salamence gone too, who would have been the main threat offensively for SOULWIND. SOULWIND does not have much offensive pressure to speak of here. So Ban Manaphy understands that, and has a single Starmie against the world. That surf damage against Tar was also crucial, which could have gotten rid of the Starmie in a different situation. But now SOULWIND is kind of struggling to actually establish layers because this Starmie can spin them pretty reliably. I think the best thing SOULWIND has is the Blissey, because Blissey has Calm Mind and Thunderbolt, which is quite good here. Earning some ever-crucial leftovers healing on Skarmory. It's always awkward in a defensive Starmie mirror. I find these matchups tend to be a bit difficult for both to actually break through and do anything. I think I like SOULWIND's position a little bit more just because of the T-Bolt Blissey being quite good against Ban Manaphy's team, and SOULWIND also has the pretty easy stop or check for both Salamence and Metagross, which are Ban Manaphy's other threats, and Jolteon's not doing much against Blissey. Ban Manaphy has no spikes. So I think SOULWIND is favored at the moment, but Ban Manaphy trying to keep it close. There's a Metagross explosion on the right target, could go a long way as well for Ban Manaphy, but same with SOULWIND, right? SOULWIND has a Metagross in the back pocket too. A little bit of a stalemate here, to be honest. Interestingly. A bit of a stalemate. Not much is revealed about this Salamence either. It could just be a traditional Dragon Dance Salamence with the classic coverage of Flying Ground Rock. But it also, if it's Refresh Salamence, that's great here, because it can refresh the Thunder Wave. I don't think it is. SOULWIND getting some good para luck here. But Starmie just needs one recover to be back to health. Oh, goes for Light Screen instead? Wow. You didn't go for recover. I guess you'd have one more shot, but if you get full parried here, it's over. Didn't. Okay. We're back to health. That was scary a little bit. This game was very exciting in the beginning, but now it's a bit of a stalemate. But Ban Manaphy still has that one Pokeball in the back. What could that be? I bet it's something crazy, or maybe something normal. Who knows? Who actually knows? It could be Heracross might make some sense. Heracross would be a good breaker and like win con. And it would be pretty fantastic into SOULWInd. Looking at the squad, I mean, Skarmory relatively low, and Heracross matches up well against everything with super effective damage, and like, I guess Metagross, just strong Mega Horn, is nice. How healthy is SOULWIND's Metagross? 68. Ban Manaphy, oh no, got frozen on Jolteon. That's a little unfortunate. Playing with fire there, staying against Blissey. But the Blissey doesn't have status, so suppose it's okay from Manaphy's perspective. Okay. The Frozen Jolt, I don't think Jolteon is that great in the matchup anyway. The best thing about it is Wish support. Maybe T-Bolt immunity comes in handy against the Blissey, but you can just Ice Beam the Jolteon too. Is Mind Game potential? Perhaps. So that looks worse than it actually is. I don't think that the Jolteon is very useful in the matchup, to be honest with you. Just because Blissey just totally stonewalls it. So, really, Ban Manaphy's success hinges on maybe this Dragon Dance Salamence getting an opportunity, or whatever the last is, coming in and surprising SOULWInd. We'll see. Maybe it is Mag all along. If it's Magneton the whole time, that's crazy, and Ban Manaphy is disguising Magneton for a long con. Like, you suggest you don't have Magneton for hours and hours, and then bring it in once they have a sense of security, you know? That's something people do sometimes with trappers. They suggest that they don't have it, and then they bring it in when SOULWInd is conditioned not to cover it. Something maybe to consider. We'll see if that plays out. And trying to thaw out this Jolteon. SOULWInd ever careful, doesn't even risk the thaw out. Getting Starmie out of there. Because if Jolteon thawed and clicked Thunderbolt against Starmie, SOULWInd would have died. That's 20%. We're not taking that risk. In comes Blissey, and SOULWInd can just shoot off a Thunderbolt here. Actually chooses to go Skarmory on the light screen click. Alright. Earn some more leftovers healing. Very slow. I'm not even going to turn on fast mode just because it's very stalematey here. We're just seeing the same loops a few times. It's alright. Somebody will break through eventually. Somebody will make... It's a Tyranitar last. And what is the Tyranitar set for Ban Manaphy? It's DD. Alright. Depending on the bulk, it could live a mash there. Skarm comes in. We have a Rock Slide flinch chance. Gonna Roar. That was good chip on Skarmory. Okay, the DD Tar from Ban Manaphy is a fantastic tool to have in this endgame here. Squeezing in a light screen on the Protectorn and back Tar on the Starmie with a light screen for backup. Goes Thunder Wave on the... I'm gonna slow the battle down now because we're getting to more exciting territory here. Alright. Interesting how the light screen can support this DD Tar. I wonder if the Tar has Lumberry. We don't know the item yet. It could be Lumberry. It would make sense with the pace of the team. For that extra turn. More valuable than leftovers, perhaps. But also, like, DDing in the face of that Starmie, it would be a throw because it can just live a hit and Thunder Wave you again. So I would say... even if... Mana does have... Oh my gosh! A Surf crit. That was a bold move because you're risking Starmie's life there. It's very low. But getting through Metagross might just be exactly what you needed. Even if that didn't crit, it might have been worth just for the damage, but you can't complain about that crit because Jolteon's frozen, you know, it's even now. SOULWInd got a bit lucky, Mana got a bit lucky. That evens things out. We're going to accept... And we're going to blow up. So Ban Manaphy is now going for the win. With the two Dragon Dance sweepers here. Goes to Jolteon, the frozen Jolteon. Is this a mistake? I don't know. Are we going to try and thaw it out after all? SOULWInd choosing not to go Blissey, just... likes the odds. Going for Roar now. Salamence is in. Skarmory, I imagine it has Toxic. Yeah, we know it has Toxic, of course. Back Jolteon. On the Toxic. Another chance to thaw. At this point, SOULWInd can just go Blissey and not risk it. Soulwind is in a pretty good spot, but the one thing is the DD Tar. I wonder if you should have just gone Tar directly. And just clicked Rock Slide. I'm not sure. It's not great. It's not much damage. It's a low chance to flinch. Maybe your best bet is thawing out. And it's kind of crazy that the guy hasn't thawed out so far. I mean, this is a lot of chances. You have gotten a flinch here. That's 29 chip. Jolteon on... good click there from Soulwind. Jolteon now is going to fall to... It's at 17. I think that's enough to fall to Spike and Sand. Yep. So it's gone now. Alright. It's up to Tyranitar. Now. And this Salamence, maybe you just use it to literally Rock Slide through the guy. If you get a predict right... Oh, going Tar. It's Lum, of course. Leftovers was not shown, so probably Lum, of course. If that flinched, you're in a great spot. Soulwind not daring to protect so far. Clicked Earthquake there. If you danced, maybe you had a shot. You dance now, and you get one more hit in. Probably a Rock Slide, just to cover Skarm. But you wish you Earthquaked, don't you? Okay, but Salamence is now in against this Tyranitar. As long as it doesn't have Ice Beam, which it might have Ice Beam. But you get a free dance here. Oh, but the Blissey just lives. Of course it does, yeah. So you got to get a Rock Slide flinch. Or this has to be Brick Break Salamence, which it could be. Don't even go for Rock Slide. Do you not have it? Well, Soulwind managed that one. Proving to just... With solid gameplay and a bit of patience, you can weather the storm. And handle this explosive offensive strategy. But here's game 2. And what does Manaphy bring in this time? The Medicham. The signature Medicham. And going for the big punch early on. Huge. Forretress has a layer, but it's down to its last legs. And going for another punch. Why not? Why not do it? Pretty significant chip on a resist. 36. Shadow Ball. Celebi's very low. Recovering. Gonna Giga Drain to chip the Medicham while also healing a bit, and a crit manages to get there, but it's a Doug pivot in. Alright, very aggressive opener from Bam Manaphy. Bit of momentum here because of the Doug switch in. Gengar invites in Pursuit Tar. You probably should have expected that one, but maybe you don't mind. Maybe you're alright. Do you live the Pursuit? Probably. If you're choosing to switch out, yep. Evade to live it. In comes a Metagross. Wonder if that was the only ground immune Pokemon on Ban Manaphy's side. That's why I had to go for that. And what will we see here? Skarmory once... Skarmory Forretress. This is just the most Soulwind team I've ever seen. Oh, Mimic! Metagross is about to make spikes, folks. Have you ever seen such a thing? Whoa. Alright, Metagross is making spikes. That's nuts. I've never seen that. I've seen Mimic on, like... Armaldo, I think you use it on. But that's crazy. Mimic Metagross. Wow. Alright. I cannot believe Skarm plus Furry. His Gengar lives on 1. That's nuts. Just 7%. Just above. So gonna 1v1 that Tyranitar against all odds. And correctly predicting Pursuit instead of Crunch as well. And the Giga Drain allows it to just heal just out of range of the Pursuit damage. Can you believe it? Gengar still with us. Pivot in on an Ice Beam. These 2 layers of spikes are actually doing a lot of work. A pivot to Jolteon. A pivot to Jolteon against the Skarmory and is pretty huge. You can roar the Bliss coming in if you want to. Clicks Wish. Oh, beautiful Toxic, to be honest. You gotta give respect for that Toxic. That is a bold move. and pivot back to Blissey. Gengar can blow up on this. The wish is enormous, though. Actually. Wishing up Gengar is huge. Clicks Taunt. That's a good call out. Blissey is going to be super low now. You could go Metagross. Does go Metagross. Is SOULWIND going to go Doug? No, just goes Ice Beam. Okay, Metagross is forcing out Blissey now. Are we going to see another double to Jolt? A double to Gengar on the Skarmory. Probably a better mid-ground. And now you can... I mean, Wisp is a good click. Clicks Taunt, actually. Interesting click. That might have covered things better than Wisp. Immediately taunting Blissey as it enters, if it entered. Jolteon in again. Oh, what an interesting play there. SOULWIND chose not to heal, afraid of Taunt. But ban Manaphy, rather than going... Okay, wants to Wish with Jolteon one last time. 2 Wish Jolteon brings back to back, by the way. I must add. In comes Gengar, safely. Gengar back to 100%. Okay. Interesting choices from Manaphy. Just really wants to heal up Gengar, and I can see why. With Tyranitar now gone, Gengar is damn strong. And it's a bulky as hell Gengar, taking 18. A measly 18. Gonna Giga Drain, that's probably significant chip. 7%, that's as much as a leftover. Alright, I think Gengar amazingly 1v1s this Blissey. Because Ice Beam is just not doing enough. And it can Taunt, denying the heals. SOULWIND, a good move there, Ice Beaming though. Playing around the Taunt. What a set. This is something. Meta in on the Ice Beam once more, and Blissey is damn low now. And with Blissey so low, Gengar is the big time cleanup king in this end game. I almost expected an explosion there just to chip Skarmory significantly, pivot back into Gengar, but you just do it. You just do it. No fear of Protect, just go for it. And in comes Gengar, and what can come in? Nothing. Ban Manaphy expertly setting up for this Gengar endgame, and has a Jolt sack in the back pocket, which is a sack with priority, denying the enemy from acting. So Ban Manaphy can get whatever Ban Manaphy has in the back, she can get in instantaneously. Oh, but the sack just got brought in with Roar. That's a bit of reprieve for SOULWInd. That actually is a huge advantage. But SOULWInd is honestly, seriously out of steam right here. And Taunt is kind of just a... Taunt is a great click because it just prevents anything from happening. And Salamence can come in completely for free. True. Skarmory has nothing to click. Salamence would cover the Blissey coming in. And Salamence can indeed take out this Forretress. It looks like a physical Salamence. SOULWInd forfeits. Ban Manaphy bringing it back with a truly unique team here. Seriously. In a time where, you know, Jolteon is not considered great in the current metagame. But the Wish Jolteon was so good in this game. Healing up Gengar back to fruition. What a way to play around Pursuit Tar. Healing up Gengar repeatedly. Alright. Game 3. And SOULWInd with an uncharacteristic Medicham lead. But it gets Drill Pecked on the first turn? What the hell? Okay. Whoa. So SOULWInd is probably bringing something aggressive here. Which is a little uncharacteristic. HP fighting! To bring Tyranitar insanely low. What an opening. What an opening. I don't know if that crit mattered on Medicham, by the way, but because Medicham is extremely frail. I think it just drops to drill. I would have to double check. Either way, nutty. Okay. SOULWInd with a Recover Starmie, though. So I wonder what this is. Maybe it's like a Balancy team with Medicham as the breaker, but not anymore, obviously. What Tyranitar is this? It's a physical one. It's a physical tie. It's very low because of the HP fight. Surprise. This is insane. Soulwind with a Zapdos. I wonder if there's a spikes setter of some kind, or if we're looking at a spikeless team, maybe a Power Spam would make sense. You've got 3 potential Paralyze setters on Soulwind's side. Rock Slide on this Metagross. That's going to be useful for the Zap. Let's put on some music that is a bit more high energy for this. This high stakes set between 2 rivals. Psychic is solid. Chip on that Zapdos. Leech Seed gonna punish this incoming Blissey significantly. And the set probably recover last for Band Manaphy. Or it could be a offensive Celebi with Giga Drain last as well. 3 attacks Leech. Could be. We'll see. The Peck Zap opener is pretty aggressive suggestion, so take a look. We'll take a look as things are revealed to us over time. We will. It is indeed the Giga Drain Celebi. So Band Manaphy with yet another offensive team. As is tradition. There is a common theme of Metagross coming in on Blissey and being very threatening in these sets. And Soulwind is a huge fan of Recover Starmie, we have learned. Bringing it, I think, in all 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not game 2, I can't remember. But definitely a big fan of the set. It's very good. It's a good Pokemon. Don't get it twisted. Soulwind just trying to slow the pace down. With some simple defensive switches. Metagross is here. Soulwind can maybe wish up Zapdos. Living a Rock Slide. Just goes Starmie though. Mana, instead of trying to do damage, goes for the mash attack raise. That is what you should do in this position, because Wish just covers the damage you deal anyway. But if you get the attack raise, you can break through potentially. Swampert pivoting in and revealing itself to come in on a Thunder Wave, and we'll see what kind of Swampert we're looking at. An aggressive one or a defensive one. Doing a respectable 39 to Starmie. Starmie probably doesn't want to do this loop. It's not fantastic. Oh, it's Curse. Okay. Well, this breaks through Starmie. That's going to 2-hit now with Earthquake, so Starmie has to get out of here. I wonder if we'll see a Hydro Pump or something to... Ah, good move, but unfortunate miss. Great move from Mana. It's okay, we do have another Run Flex. He's back. And here he is. Soulwind bringing this low health Tara in, trying to get something out of it. And a good double switch to Swampert on an incoming Metagross. An Ice Beam on the Celebi too. Wonderfully played by Soulwind there. Nice little sequence. That's more significant than it looks. This Celebi can't heal. Every little bit of chip is very good. So that was nice. Maneuvering, inviting in Celebi like that. The double to Swamp into the Ice Beam. Now, a Blissey Ice Beam should outpace the damage recovered from Leech Seed, so we might see just an Ice Beam come down. There's also Freeze and Crit Chance on top of that, but no, goes for the heal, which is the safer option. I will say Blissey is facing down multiple physical threats here, and also this Celebi has Leech Seed, which kind of destroys Blissey, so I don't know how good Blissey is in this matchup. It's looking very threatened. Gonna toss. Doesn't appear to have Ice Beam. Softball, Wish, Toss. Must have... If it has Counter, that's huge. It could actually get something going with Counter. But I think if it had Ice Beam, it would have clicked it there instead of Seismic Toss. That's more damage into Celebi, so we could maybe see no Toss. No Ice Beam, sorry. On the Blissey. Wonder what it has then. Soulwind trying to get more value out of this low Tyranitar while he can. But will it work out? This Snorlax is very threatening here. Gets a lucky flinch in there. I mean, the odds are good for an eventual flinch, though. And it was... Did it click Body Slam? Yes. So it might not even have Earthquake. Probably not. meaning the Tara is pretty well positioned there to just get a flinch eventually. Probably not rest Snorlax either. It's probably an aggressive Snorlax, just based on the rest of the team. Mana lands the Hydro Pump that time. And somehow Mana's Celebi is back to fruition, even like erasing that Ice Beam chip from before. I guess SOULWIND was able to heal up Blissey in that little period as well, so it was a bit of a trade in that sense. Going for Wish against this. Maybe you just toss. Ah, it's dangerous though. What if Body Slam high rolls? Are you trying to Wish up Tar? Okay, that's quite good for SOULWInd. With Tar healthy, you have a pretty reliable way to get through Snorlax now. So that could be really good. And Blissey's health not actually that valuable into all these things that can threaten it so much. So I really like that choice from SOULWInd. That was good. What's revealed? Just BP revealed on this Zap. HP Ice, potentially? Wouldn't be Pack. That'd be crazy. And Blissey doesn't mind getting seeded as long as it can squeeze in a ever-crucial soft-boiled. But Snorlax can heal significantly coming in. Snorlax is about to heal to like 60-something off this Leech Seed. 59. And then 66. Snorlax is once again kind of healthy. Cursing up this Swampert. Swampert has to leave because of the risk of HP Grass. SOULWInd has a good avenue for victory if he can break down the Snorlax. This Zapdos looks really strong. The Celebi is a problem, but Blissey walls it at least. Doesn't love getting seeded, but it can wall it. You could also try and engineer an HP bug in the mix. Clicks Wish rather than Softboiled this time. Valuing teammates' health over her own. What a selfless Blissey. A selfless act. Healing up Zapdos. Wonder if this Zapdos will just try to hit this Snorlax. Not a bad choice at all. Getting through this Snorlax is going to be a priority. Just BP's out though to Tar. Snorlax has shown no way to hit Tar. Body Slam Para is going to be the best bet against the Tar. Hasn't hit it so far. Goes for a punch. That's good chip on Metagross. It was a good move. It was. Mash does a lot to this Starmie. Must be like a speed invested one, no defense investment. Defensive Starmie can be surprisingly frail. Opting more for speed to outrun Gengar than like too much bulk. It puts some health in. But certain spreads are actually prone to getting broken through by stuff like Metagross. Just click an EQ here is doing a lot of damage to what you would think is a defensive Pokemon. But gonna get a Thunder Wave in the mix and play for the Para chance. Thinks that's better odds of success. It could be, but it also could be a huge disaster for you if things go wrong here. But you've managed to squeeze in a heal. Celebi gonna... No, pivot back to Swampert. Oh, huge recover, actually. A really dangerous one. What if Giga Drain was clicked? Kind of a good move there, actually. The Curse Up. Wonder if this has Rocks... No, it doesn't have Rock Slide. Hydro Ice Beam is the set. Clicks Ice Beam. Learned from last time. Don't click Hydro Pump. It's inaccurate. We know the Zapdos is coming in, so just click the move that does damage. 2 more Ice Beams and this Zapdos is toasted. There's Wish support, but Blissey's low, right? It's at 46. So ban Manaphy's avenue for victory. Get through the Zapdos. Sweep with the Swampert. SOULWIND's avenue for victory. Get through the Snorlax and the Celebi. And probably break through with the Tyranitar or the Zapdos. Neither player with spikes, which is... That's interesting. SOULWIND probably relies a lot on this Metachamp getting early momentum, but it just got pecked. So SOULWIND without much offensive pressure here, but SOULWIND able to bring this Metagross close to death at the cost of the Swampert health, which could be really worth it here No Tyranitar on Manaphy's side so far to be able to use Swampert defensively. But I would not be surprised if Tyranitar is that last Pokeball. Would not be surprised at all. Truly. Huge leech. This Blissey is really under fire in this matchup. What if Manaphy wants to get Metagross in? No, go Swampert. Swampert is kind of the key for Manaphy. Another Ice Beam? No, goes for the Curse. An Ice Beam would have been huge there. Oh, goes for the Torrent Hydro Pump? Oh, what the heck? An Earthquake. Expecting a double switch out. Oh boy. Well, Swampert is damn low now. That's a problem. That was a bold move. Going for something crazy there. Did not work out though, unfortunately. Did not work out. I thought maybe the Torrent Hydro Pump was the plan. Because the HP Grass brings you into Torrent range and Hydro Pump might KO after Sand. That could be worthwhile. And then you chip heal up the Swampert over time, but no. SOULWInd is making this really difficult. Swampert needs to recover its health back little by little, and that's going to take ages. So SOULWInd probably letting out a sigh of relief right here for that one. Oh, did Celebi go for the Giga Drain this time? No. Once again calling out mana with it recovered to squeeze in like only 20 health there, but just going for it regardless. SOULWInd trying to condition mana not to Leech Seed, maybe, to get the Blissey entry. Okay, that's enormous. The Swampert is going to heal so much here. Back to 77%. Ice Beam this time? No. I pivot to Snorlax. Oh, why would you Ice Beam with Wish support unless you want to hit the freeze? That's the only one. This is a better move from mana. Slam Parachance again. Curse up. You can click it if you like. A Rock Slide dodge is massive. And there is the para finally. Finally. Goes for the punch. Expecting a switch out. It wasn't that way. It didn't happen that way. Will Snorlax now 1v1 this Tyranitar? It's faster now. Bringing in Swampert. On the Rock Slide this time. Alright, Tyranitar is now no longer the threat it was moments ago. Manaphy is hesitant to click this Ice Beam. Hesitant to pull the trigger. Both players are kind of hesitant. At the moment. Blissey can heal, crucially, but Snorlax can enter. I wonder if SOULWInd goes for a toss here. Just toss the guy. Just damage it. No, a Wish. To heal up Tyranitar on the way in. But Manaphy can Curse again. Curse again is a huge move from Manaphy that it's now threatening like 40? How much is this doing to Tar? And the Tar's paralyzed, Rock Slide's inaccurate. 2 times defense. Yeah, 35. Rock Slide doing 18 only. Can't flinch anymore because you're slower. Snorlax is in a fantastic spot now. At least getting the damage in. Snorlax is really low. SOULWInd wants to sack Swampert. For whose entry point? Zapdos. Oh dear. I don't think Zapdos could KO. No, just shy. Just shy. Click self-destruct. Would have died to Sand anyway, so good move. In case somehow the Slam doesn't KO, depending on the spread. Well, that is interesting. Manaphy kind of breaking through a little bit with that Snorlax, but there's still a home stretch. You got to get through Blissey. one avenue for victory for Soulwind. Stall all the Giga Drains. There's 5 of them. But I gotta say, Celebi is looking outstanding right now. Because it hits Giga Drain into Ty and Starmie, and Leech Seed destroys Blissey. And you know who else is outstanding? Is this Swampert. Swampert pretty healthy, 76%. And it's got the Curse, and there's no more Zapdos to stop it. No more Zapdos. The Snorlax has made way for victory for Bandmate. Still one unrevealed after 100 turns. That last Pokeball is hidden. I wonder what it is. I think it's probably a Tyranitar. That would be my chief guess. I think Mana wants Sand on a team like this to punish enemies. Soulwind kind enough to make Sand of his own. So that's okay. And yeah, I think this Cursed Swampert is now just going to win. Nothing left to stop it. Not even a chance for Blissey Ice Beam Freeze, because Blissey doesn't have Ice Beam in this game. Nothing to be done here. Oh, it does have Ice Beam. What the heck? You didn't click it all game. No, sorry. You did click it at one point. My mistake. I didn't notice that. But didn't click it in against the Celebi ever. Alright. Didn't land the freeze. Did not land the freeze. And Soulwind says GG's. Once again falling to this formidable foe, Ban Manaphy. Victorious again. Against the GOAT. Soulwind. Another... At this point, is it an upset if you've won twice? I think Ban Manaphy just has a strong matchup into this particular opponent. Sometimes that's the case. As one style beats another. Or tends to. It's only 2 sets. Will they rematch in this tournament? I would love to see another rematch. What a long one. And a game of inches. Despite Ban Manaphy bringing very aggressive teams, was able to match Soulwind's pace. Soulwind wants to slow things down. Ban Manaphy is not an impatient player. Just because she's bringing aggressive teams doesn't mean she's impatient. Able to match the pace. Able to strike when the moment arises. Going in with that Snorlax. Got some good luck there, but you know, these things are looping a million times. You're eventually going to land that Body Slam Para. You're eventually going to get some good fortune. As did Soulwind in this set with some freezes here and there and whatnot. That's what happens when the game's slowed down. You play for those secondary effects and whatever. And you got to go for those openings. A wonderful set. Thank you for watching, folks. What a long one. I'll catch you later.